We can recap Thanksgiving if you want.
All right.
Oh, I got a funny little story about that.
All
about
right.
my sister. She's gonna love it. I made fun of her so bad. Hey everybody, this is Carlos and Sandy Lee, and you're listening to the Off Your Flosser podcast. We're here to rock your world.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And go floss yourselves.
Thanks, everybody. Now go floss yourself. Hey, everybody. It is November 27th. This is your 6th episode of Off Your Flosser with Carlos and Sandy Lee.
Hello,
What's up, Carlos?
Hey, everybody. How are you? How was Thanksgiving? That was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You always eat too much. That's pretty norm. We had my family over at my house, and then we went over to John's mom and dad's. John wasn't feeling the hottest.
Is he okay?
Oh yeah, he's good. He's good.
We just
It was
eat a
one
little
of them
something.
things.
Ate something wild.
I
Some
guess
wild mushrooms or
maybe
something.
it's all the shrooms. Yeah.
Would he get some? Would he get some of that romaine lettuce that's going around?
Oh yeah, maybe that's I bet you pegged it right there.
E. coli.
I didn't check the serial numbers.
How does E. coli get on the lettuce?
Well,
Is somebody
depends on how
doing
it's
stuff
picked.
to the lettuce bins? What's going on, man? That's gross.
They're crop dusting the lettuce
Really?
bins at
Ugh.
Walmart.
That's so gross. Well, we went to Chipotle the other day, my wife and I, and they were like,
Oh.
what do you want on it? We were like, can we just get some corn and like medium salsa and some lettuce? They were like, nah, we're not doing lettuce.
Wow.
Our history with food poisoning, and we're not monkeying around with any lettuce this week.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I was
I
like,
remember the
that's
Chipotle.
probably a good idea. Dude, I love Chipotle, man.
So, yeah, I've been there a couple times, and then it reminds me of, like, Qdoba, like they're brothers and sisters or something.
Yeah. How about Moe's?
Yeah.
You ever go to Moe's? Welcome to Moe's!
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Moe's is it's like a burrito place, but their chips are freezies, whereas Chipotle will make you pay for them.
What?
Yeah, bro.
What about guac?
No, guac is
Guac.
extra no matter where you go.
I know, and that's a thing. Like, people talk about that on the radio.
How
like,
does something with such an unappealing sounding name, guac? Hey, what is that? What's that on the bottom of your shoe? It's guac. Can I get
let's just scrape it off and put it on.
Can I
our
get a bowl of that
taco.
for my chips? Because it's a stupid name. It's delicious.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
It's delicious.
It's just, it costs extra, and that's unfair.
It is unfair, but it's an upsell.
Hashtag first world problem. At my family Thanksgiving, sometimes we'll play games and stuff. And we decided, I decided we were going to play Uno. You know Uno.
Wow, yeah, it's been like 30 years since I've
Yeah.
touched that thing. Uno, yeah.
Right, yeah. So throwback to the
Have you heard the sequel
60s
to
or
that
70s.
game? It's called Dose.
Dose? No. No.
They're not all gems, folks. They're not all gems.
So we're sitting there playing our game, several of us, and she's like scrolling through Facebook events. She goes, "Hey, Ashley, what's a Chinooka party?" And Ashley was like, "I don't know." And she goes, "Well, your friend so-and-so is at this Chinooka party." And we were like, "What? Is that like a hookah or, like a hookah party or something?" And then I was like, "Let me see what you're talking about." It was freaking Hanukkah.
Wow.
It was Hanukkah. Bobby, I hope you're listening. It was Hanukkah. And she goes, "Well, I never seen it spelled like that." And I was like, "Oh, Lord." And then, so for the rest of the night, we're like, "Hey, we should go to the Chinooka party after this."
That sounds like a thing.
We're freaking brilliant, by the way. We're college educated.
That happens sometimes. People make mistakes, and
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you're born with brains, beauty, maybe not so much common sense type stuff,
You
I
ever
mean,
met
you can't.
you ever met somebody who's super brilliant but had no common sense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or like they know like stuff,
Like they
but
know
they
they're
trip.
very
You know what I'm saying?
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, but they cannot carry on a normal civilized conversation because they're just very socially awkward.
I got a couple
I've met
friends like
people
that.
like that.
Guys
Yeah.
that are one dude's a geologist,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And he does comedy.
Yeah.
He's trying to break into the comedy world or
Oh
whatever.
wow. Wow.
And but he kind of gives you like these sideways glances, like, yeah, man, and you're like, what's going on, dude? You know what I'm saying? But he can tell you what's in a rock. Well, who knows what's in rocks? Nobody
Is it
except this guy.
creepy?
Not really
Like when you-
creepy, but it's sort of like you could tell that he's not super comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like so you try not to make it worse, but
Right.
inadvertently you do. You're like, dude, what's going on, man? So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you. But yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
But who needs to know that much about rocks? Seriously.
If that's your thing, I mean,
What do you got? You got pebbles, right? You got
well, you got sedimentary.
you got sand.
Igneous.
No, I have no idea what's what.
But what's a Morpheus? Isn't there? Is that holy?
I think
That's Matrix.
That's a dude from
but
the
isn't
Matrix.
there a Morpheus rock?
Ignatius? I don't know.
Igneous. There's igneous, sedimentary. I'm pulling stuff from the 4th grade out.
Volcanic
right
rock.
Sure.
That's a thing.
That sounds good. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Tectonic plates.
Hey, I know that. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so not necessarily socially awkward, but have you ever worked with somebody who might be just oblivious? Like,
Yeah.
for example, in the dental office, so everybody thinks that their job is the hardest for the most part, and everybody thinks that they are busting their ass like continuously. I mean, some people know that they're not, but for the most part, everybody thinks that they're the hardest worker, that sort of thing. Have you ever worked with somebody who was just blatantly not the hardest worker, but yet they thought they were, or they just weren't a team player?
Dude. I don't even want to get started.
So that's a yes.
Yeah, I've been there.
So
Do you have somebody in mind?
Me personally, no. But what
Brenda,
like people in my
you know who you are.
Brenda, Brenda and Debbie.
Every Brenda's gonna be like, what did I do?
No, but somebody was talking about it in the lighthearted group about how like in the beginning they all helped each other, and then I don't know, somebody gets a bug up their ass about something, and then oh gosh, it's all over, and then they start leaving the instruments just from hygiene in the sterile. They'll do all the other stuff, but leave those intentionally, that sort of thing, or
What's up with
a
that?
hygienist. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Am I crazy,
like,
or is that just the dumbest thing in the world?
I think we're a team, right?
It's supposed to be.
I mean, everybody in the office has their own role, but everybody together makes the team. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I swear to God, I wish I could just hop on a Pegasus and just fly off into the sunset.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say unicorn, because unicorns don't have wings.
Duh.
Right, everybody knows that. Jeez. So what do you think? What would be a good way to deal with that, besides like throwing a scaler in their eye?
Short of assault?
Yeah, short of assault and battery. What would you do?
Well, first off, some people like trouble
confrontation,
and
drama,
and bullshit,
yes.
and I don't understand why that is. I'm a big, scary looking dude in the dental office, and I'm like so non-confrontational. I'll just clean whatever and just whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But everybody has their limit, and I've lost it once or twice. I mean, and by losing it, I'm like, hey, what is going on here? Do we need to have a conversation? You know what I mean? And actually address it. But
Yeah.
it's almost
Yeah.
not worth it because whoever they are obviously doesn't either gets off on it or they don't think they're doing anything wrong. So, so I don't know what the answer is.
I wonder though. Sometimes you probably can talk to a person. I think you really have to weigh out like who they are personality wise. Like, are they up for some constructive criticism? Are
timing.
you the one? Yeah, timing, and then are
good.
you the one that should be criticizing? That's the other thing. Like, if we step out of our boundaries to, and sometimes it's, all good intentions, but maybe it shouldn't come from you. Maybe it should come from somewhere else,
Not that the information is wrong. It's just who happens to be delivering it.
Yeah.
So.
Hey.
What?
You know what?
What?
You have dogs, right?
Yeah, a couple dogs.
Are they, are your dogs fixed or no?
Oh, yeah. No, they're fixed. Fixed-it.
Oh, they?
Yeah. We adopted them
we always did that too.
From the pound.
Yeah, they make you do it.
I think they don't give them to you unless they fix them up.
Right, yeah. Because they don't want their puppies back there.
No.
5 months, 6 months.
No, I know. Like, dude, we gave you one, and you're bringing us 6? What's going on?
Right. Is this buy one, get 6 free or something?
I think that's such a waste of just life, I guess. You know what I'm saying? When people are just irresponsible and they have a bunch of puppies and they can't adopt. You know what I mean? It's just a sad way to go, I think.
Yeah. Bro, absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to my pops on Thanksgiving Day, and he just lost his puppy dog of 18 years.
Yeah, that's sad.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you told me. It was sad.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I said, Dad, why didn't you say something? He's like, dude, I didn't feel like talking, man. And I'm like, I get it. He had this thing 18 years.
I know, that's crazy.
Well, what's that in people years? 70, 126?
I'm not doing math.
126? Did you see my movie I put on Facebook about unicorns?
Yes, your infatuation with unicorns in the fog.
It's so stupid on our Instagram.
Do it.
I'm doing it.
Put it on our YouTube
right.
YouTube channel too.
Yeah,
Off your Flosser.
It's so dumb, but it makes me laugh, and hopefully it makes you laugh. So check it out. Off your Flosser.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if somebody wanted to call, where would they call and leave a message or a text? Could it be 256 743 3
floss?
Or that 256
I only know the word
floss,
part.
Or 256 743 5677. Or email.
Oh yeah, at offyourflosser@gmail. I started the dog thing because you said something about an unfixed dog.
Yeah, because I haven't seen. I'm not trying to be gross, but I haven't seen dog nuts in a while. But when I was a kid, every male dog had a full package. Now I'm
trying to think because we didn't have dogs growing up or anything, and I don't know. I mean, a small town. Maybe I didn't pay attention.
Dude,
I don't know.
I grew up in the city, like in the hood, and there were wild dogs running around, fully armed. You know what I'm saying?
With their red rocket.
That was maybe 85, 86. And that's about the last time I saw a complete dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, all mine are fixed. I've, the 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, 2 boys, 2 girls. But yeah, they're all fixed and stuff. So, yeah. And I mean, I guess it's the healthiest thing to do.
Sure.
And it keeps the what are they, shelters. So just fix your dog.
Right. Be responsible.
Right, yeah. So, hey, there's something else that I wanted to bring up that's, a PSA or, feel good kind of thing. And not PSA like posterior superior. So, on Mondays, I work at the WIC office, and it's in the health department. And the health department director there, she's amazing. She's got all these ideas. Like she does recycling, and one of the things they do is they recycle plastic lids. Like I don't know,
From
plastic
what?
medicine bottle lids, aspirin caps, stuff like that.
Okay.
But what they do is they take all these lids, they melt them down and make stuff out of them. So she has these, like, if you have enough of them, which she does, they'll make a park bench out of this plastic.
Oh
And then
wow.
they make statues. Like, there's some, like, Mary, Mother Mary statues, angels. I've got an angel. I'll put pictures on the Instagram page because,
Wow.
it's
That's a
pretty
lot
cool.
of plastic, man.
It is. Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah, I'll have to put the pictures because they have these foam boards, like poster boards that they put everything up to kind of talk about the program, and they have pictures of just truckloads of, plastic lids. It's pretty amazing, but it's one of those things where it's good for the environment because you're making something beautiful out of basically trash, that sort of thing. So
What
I'm gonna put
color?
that on
What color
the
is it? Are they white?
so you can't paint them or anything. They're the color of the caps. And for the most part, I guess they melt them down and they mix them up and it makes they can make different colors. Like there's brown, red, gray. Like my angel is gray.
Okay.
Um but they've made like squirrel statues and cardinal statues and just all sorts of crazy stuff.
Nice.
And they make big flower pots, but they're all made out of this plastic recycle stuff. So it's one of those feel good things, like you're doing something good for the earth, and it's artistic and pretty. But anyway, I'll put the pictures on Instagram because it's pretty cool.
I'd like a bench of that. Is it
Yeah,
heavy?
it takes a lot. Oh yeah, like my statue is probably, I don't know, 10 pounds, 15
Dude, that
pounds.
is a lot of plastic.
I know. Think about all
So
the
it's
plastic you're
solid.
saving
It's
from
not
the
like it's not
ocean
it's not
and
like
stuff.
an
Yeah,
Easter rabbit where it's
it's
hollow
not
in the middle,
hollow.
right?
No, it's not false advertisement. No, these things are pretty solid, heavy. Like I put mine. We at John's grandma's estate sale, we got the bird bath, and I put it
Nice.
in the bird bath, so it's like an angel looking over our little koi pond. And
Sure.
then I've got little like commemorative statues. So I'll talk about this for a minute, but I'm going through the IVF stuff, the infertility journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've lost 3 babies altogether, twins and then a single girl. So to represent them, I got these iron, like cast iron birds. So I've got the angel statue, the 3 birds around it in the bird bath. So it's kind of like commemorative for John's grandma,
Sure.
my babies, and then an angel, like, watching over them kind of stuff. But
I'm sorry,
so
man.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I think sometimes there's a lot of stigma with fertility and and how hard it can be, and the rights and wrongs of it, and that kind of stuff. Um,
Stigma how?
well, sometimes there's the that it's unnatural type stuff, which um and some people say it's like you're playing God, and that's not what God intended, and that sort of thing. But my thing is, and not to get all controversial, but I mean, if this is playing God, then so is taking an aspirin, cancer treatments, insulin for diabetics, all that stuff is playing God. So my argument is that it's not. But if you're gonna take that side, that's my opinion, is that if you think medical treatments for this illness, because it's a medical, like,
So like a
something's
life-saving
not
blood
working correctly.
transfusion.
Exactly.
It's high level
All those,
medicine is what it is.
it is, and it's correcting something that is not working correctly, just like in diabetes. So in my opinion, there's if you're gonna take that route, then you might as well, grandma, stop your heart pills because God said no. You know what I mean? But anyway,
That's heavy, man.
so It is very heavy.
Yeah.
So real quick, my journey, John and I got married in 2010, and we waited about a year, and then we started trying on our own, and it wasn't working. So after about trying for about a year, John, and I talked, and I was like, hey, we should go see somebody. And he was like, no, just, give it another year, because, if it's supposed to happen, it'll happen.
Practice makes perfect.
Right. Yeah. So, well, another year went by, and practice did not make perfect. And, it was time to go see
Sure.
somebody. And that's when they found, cancer, ovarian cancer. So I went and had surgery for that. It was very early stage, so it didn't really affect anything, except I lost an ovary, fallopian tube on that side, and it put everything off about 6 months or so. And it took half of my ovarian, my reserve of eggs, because you're born with the amount of eggs you're gonna have. It's
Sure.
not like with guys. You guys, like, you reload like every, I don't know, 5 days, or I don't know, whatever.
You know.
Yeah.
No, but
Um,
yeah, it's a very complex system.
it is, yeah. But
You're the
it's,
expert. I'm gonna stay out of this, and and if I say something dumb, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Okay. So
No, it's good. Yeah,
Okay,
and I'm not saying this for like people to feel sorry for
Sure.
us that deal with infertility. It's just one of those, like I said, there's a stigma to it, and we want people to know that it's not exactly what you might be thinking. Like, it can happen to anybody. Like, a lot of people think that it happens with older women who've put their career first, or something like that. They're in their 40s and then they decide to have kids, but not necessarily. Like, for me, I've been on this journey since I was 32, and now I'm 39. So I started, in that window where it's supposed to happen, and it didn't. And some people have been doing this from 20 years old, trying to do it, and now they're in their 40s, because you have to try certain things before you get to that point. But it's actually something that affects 1 in 8 women or couples. It's definitely not cheap to treat either.
I don't.
Right.
No, yeah, I have friends that have been through similar journeys, and the numbers are out there.
Yeah, it's staggering. Like,
In the tens of thousands,
it comes
right?
down to one. Oh yeah, no, like higher. 1 in 8 is, we're talking millions of people that have to deal with this. And the other part of it is,
I meant like the cost is in the tens of thousands.
oh, yeah, and some people go as far as hundreds of thousands, depending on how much they have as far as resources, that sort of thing. John and I decided that we would only go this far, that sort of thing. So we have our limits. We've pushed those limits, because once we got done with one portion of our journey, it didn't work, so we kept going. So it's like you push your limits because you in your heart, you want a baby. You want a child. You want this, being, that you can raise and have this, you raise it the right way, that sort of thing. Something to be proud of, blah, 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 that kind of thing. The other thing is, a lot of people worry about what not to say and how to help people when they're friends, family, that sort of thing. Don't ever tell them that it's not God's will. That is very hurtful. I mean, can you imagine God saying, or somebody saying that, somebody getting hit by a truck was, God's will, and, it was supposed to be that way. It might be true, but it's not helpful. And I'm not saying that either of those scenarios are true. I'm just saying it's not helpful. The other thing is, a lot of people think that, it's women that have to deal with infertility and the emotional aspects and the physical aspects and the, financial aspects, but it's not. Like, so sometimes it's the man's issue, Sometimes it's the woman's issue. Sometimes it's a compatibility issue. But ultimately, it affects both partners. Like, like John suffers emotionally, just like I suffer
I
emotionally.
can only
I mean,
imagine.
losing a baby is probably the hardest thing that John and I have gone through as a couple. But it's something that people need to know, like how do you talk to somebody. So say somebody confides in you and says, I'm going through IVF, or we've been trying forever and it's not happening. My personal feeling is I just wouldn't say anything. It's, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there anything you need from me? And hug them. Because you never know what to say. Like, people try so hard to say the right thing, and you end up putting your foot in your mouth.
Yeah.
So it's just
and therefore explains why I've been so silent,
Yeah, so for me personally, and some people, maybe they're different, but I'm an open book. Like, people can ask me anything. I don't need people to go overboard with it. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And have you thought about adoption? Have you thought about fostering? Have you thought about donor eggs? Have you thought about this? Yes. I mean, I'm 7 years into this. I
done
have
your
thought
research.
of everything. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So and the other thing is, oh, just relax and it'll happen. No, it won't, because 7 years ago, this would have happened if that were the case. That was when it was fun. It's not fun anymore. Things happen outside of the way it's supposed to, and it doesn't make it as fun. Things have changed. But, I mean, that's basically it. Like, we've thought about adoption, fostering. For some reason, if that's not the way we want to go, it's our business, and we don't want to go that route. The other part of it is everything is expensive. Adoption in the United States is $25,000 to $30,000. And IVF, you're looking at that, if not more, depending on how far you want to go with it. So it's very, I don't know, it's very personal. But you have to be careful what you say, because otherwise you offend people, or you make them feel bad. Like, I mean, or sad that, I hear it all the time in some of these groups that I'm in, that they don't have anybody to talk to that understands. But basically, just having an ear is sometimes what people need. Sure. Pray for them, good vibes, juju, whatever you do. I think that's some of the biggest things that that people that deal with infertility want other people that don't want them. That's what we want you to know. So just for an example, me personally. So after the ovarian cancer, I was like 6 months later.
That
I was
alone just sounds like it'd be crazy heavy to deal with.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, man, I can't catch a break. It's like, you. But
you're the one that told me that I was wearing a teal shirt in September, and you were like, "Yeah, that's the color." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know," but you're welcome.
Oh yeah, you were wearing that teal polo shirt. That's ovarian cancer awareness. That's their color.
I had no idea.
Teal.
Yeah. Now I do.
It was subliminal. Well, right, yeah. So.
But that had to be scary by itself.
Yeah, it definitely was. John and I
couldn't even imagine.
When basically they found this mass that was like encapsulating my right ovary. And luckily I had a really good reproductive endocrinologist, which is like a fertility specialist. He had a suspicion that it was granulosa cell tumor, which is ovarian cancer. It's a rare form of ovarian cancer. So when he sent me to the oncologist, he said, my estrogen is sky high. There's this mass. I think it's a GCT, or granulosa cell tumor. So when the oncologist took it out, this is what happens a lot of the times when GCT is found. They go in, they think it's a fibroid or a mass of some sort, not cancer. They'll try to take it out, and then it ruptures and spreads cancer cells everywhere. Oh, so then you have to chemo. You have to do chemo, radiation, blah blah blah. So
they just went in there and just took the whole thing.
Right, but the difference is they actually took a bag. They like so they used the Da Vinci robot. They blew my abdomen up so they could have room to look and to let this robot work. So
Wow.
it's pretty amazing.
That's
It really is.
crazy.
So they take this bag and they like scoop up the ovary, the tumor, cinch off the bag, and then pull it through a hole in my abdomen. So now if it bursts inside the bag.
Wow.
Right. We're talking to some smart people here.
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
They're the ones that got rid of the phone booths, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, who needs those? Everybody has cell
Yeah,
phones.
nobody.
We need to get rid of them.
But that's yeah. So that was it. They just grabbed the whole thing, and then that's
Yeah.
it. So now you're
Yeah.
cancer free at this point.
Yeah. So in May it'll be 5 years. So I'll hit my 5-year mark.
That's awesome.
But
okay.
But I'm telling you, before the surgery, you know,
I was afraid
John
to
and
ask
I.
you. You know that, right?
Oh, you can ask me anything.
I know,
like, I'm an
but
open book.
it's.
And if
it
anybody
seems-
else wants to ask questions or tell me about their experience, I would love to hear it. And you guys can email that to us at offyourflosser@gmail.com.
You're super cool about it, but I sincerely
Yeah.
I was afraid to ask like details because I didn't want to offend or.
Oh,
I mean, because
yeah.
I know we haven't known each other that long, so that's another thing, you know. So I didn't.
We
know
are
what-
learning each other.
You know,
But,
what I can feel comfortable asking. But anyway,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But the kicker was when we were in limbo thinking it's 50-50 cancer, a lot of people hear the word cancer and think it's a death sentence. John and I were no different.
it sounds serious.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
it's cancer. And so we were getting our life insurance policies together. We were talking about putting a will together. I mean, these are all the things that pass through your mind when the big fat C word comes along.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, so mine ended up fine. I was good. I had the surgery, went back to fertility treatments. You know, we tried more of the like lower level treatments and nothing worked, and then we went on to IVF and you know, I go to Washington University here in St. Louis, and my doctor, I really like him. Yeah, I mean, he got me pregnant twice. How many people can say that they got pregnant by their doctor with their husband sitting in the room? Boom. Like
As long as he's cool with it.
right, yeah, he was sitting right there. I mean, he could have said something.
That's bad.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so long story short was, you know, we got pregnant on the second transfer, IVF transfer. The embryo split, so we were pregnant with identical twins.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we lost them at 8 weeks, and we found out at that last appointment in ultrasound that they were the highest risk type of twins. So there's mono-di, and di-di twins. Mono means they're sharing a placenta and an amniotic sac, which is the highest risk, and that's what mine were. It's like living arrangements. So mono is like sharing a room and an apartment. They share the same room, same apartment. Mono-di means they have the same apartment, but they have separate rooms, which is middle of the road. As far as risk goes. And then there's di, where you have basically two separate apartments altogether.
Gotcha. We're neighbors.
Yeah. So, like, I got food in my fridge, you got food in your fridge. We're not having to share food, and, you know,
Gotcha.
somebody keeps messing with the thermostat. You don't have any of that with the di. Anyway.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, we are teaching people stuff tonight.
You know?
This is a good educational one. And then, so after that, we went right back at it. We lost him. We, you know, as soon as we were able to do the next transfer, we did the next transfer. Got pregnant again. Ended up making it to about 12 weeks. This part's kind of sad. So, but yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm not gonna cry, and you know, people don't cry. It's you know, it's one of those things that just happens. But the night before we were going to announce. So a week prior, we had our sister-in-law take announcement pictures, you know, where they lay out all the IVF needles and stuff around, you know, your ultrasound picture, and you have the onesie, blah, 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 you know, that kind of thing. So we did that a week prior, and then the night before we were going to announce, it was Father's Day the next day. So it was a Saturday night. I couldn't find the heartbeat on the Doppler. I had a home Doppler, and I had found the heartbeat hundreds of, well, maybe not hundreds, but we couldn't find it for, yeah, probably hundreds. Well, we couldn't find the heartbeat for almost a week. So I was worried, and I was like, before we go and announce the world that, we're finally pregnant, I want to make sure everything's cool. So we went to the ER. And then the doctor, who just happened to be, I think she said 28 weeks pregnant. She was very pregnant. She's the one that broke it to me that the heartbeat was not there anymore. So that was, another blow. We're like, are we ever going to, is this ever going to happen, basically? And then the next transfer failed altogether. I was getting like positive pregnancy tests, but then when we went to, they call it the beta, the blood test. It was like 0.8, which over 5 means you're pregnant.
Okay.
Mine was 0.8. So I was still getting positive pregnancy tests because these home tests, some of them are pretty sensitive. So it was kind of like, hey, maybe there's something going on here. And then it was like, oh, never mind.
Damn.
That is, so here's the thing. Like, I started my health program, in September, and then we transferred, like in March. Was it March? I forget now. But that's when I gave up gluten, gave up dairy, gave up sugar and alcohol and caffeine, and then had my blood tested for all these inflammatory foods. So I gave up everything. I lost 50 pounds, felt great. I was like, this is going to work. It was our very last embryo, and that's the one that failed. So I was like, well, and that's where, like, going back to when I talk about you're pushing the limits, and, before you get into this, you're like, this is as far as we're going to go. Well, once you get to that point and you're not successful, that's when you start going, well, maybe we can do a little more. And that's what we did. We switched doctors just to, see if that helped things. Did another egg retrieval. Did another transfer. Actually, last Monday, we found out that was another one of those, they call them chemical pregnancies, when your HCG is showing up on the test, but when you go for your beta, your blood test, this one was 1.8. So another, like, hey, maybe we're pregnant. Oh, no, wait, we're not. So that was a little hard. Like, this past weekend, we made it through Thanksgiving and stuff. And then this weekend, I didn't shower for 3 days. I'm glad I didn't have company after. Like, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Did I shower Monday? Yeah, I showered Monday. So yeah. Oh, that's yesterday. Yeah. And I showered this morning. So I'm back on track.
Okay. Good to know.
And, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes it can be depressing, and
I can't even imagine.
It is one of those things that you really don't know until you've been through it, like how to feel. But I'm telling you, somebody's on my side here, because with all these things that I've dealt with, I realize that other people have it worse. And that's one of the things I think that makes me a little more resilient is, God's telling me that there's something, there's a reason for keep trying, keep my head up. Other people have it worse. They've made it through this, made it through worse, so you can do this. And then this morning I woke up and, like, it was like the clouds parted, and I was,
Good.
I'm good. Good so it's
hear.
one of those things. Yeah, not to make this a whole big depressing episode, but I mean,
you have to process.
I think people, you have to process it, and I think people needed to know the things that we infertiles have to deal with.
And just so people know that the Off Your Flosser crew, we're not just superhuman like we make it look. It's everybody's got
right. I mean, I know we're like super awesome and all that, but
and concerns and just life, man.
Everybody has their issues, That's definitely the truth.
Next week,
yeah,
it is not nowhere near the same level of seriousness, but I have vitiligo, and maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah, is that the Michael Jackson disease?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I got a spot on my arm that looks like a dude walking a dog.
Like a dude walking. Oh, you're gonna show it to me?
Yeah. And sometimes it looks like a little poodle, and sometimes it looks like a squirrel that's begging for nuts.
Is it a fixed dog or an unfixed dog?
It's probably fixed because it's little, you know.
Oh.
But if it's a squirrel, then no, he's all natural.
Right.
What I mean?
Oh yeah. He's got nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a squirrel. Come on now.
Settle down. Settle down.
Hey, real quick, I want to recap our our Facebook page. We've got 689 likes. We are so freaking close to 700. I'm like gonna do a happy dance. In Instagram we have 345. We need to pick that up. Like, people need to go find us on Instagram, Off Your Flosser Podcast, and follow us because we're funny.
I don't know what
we've been
to do.
I'm gonna tell
more unicorn videos. Is that what needs to happen?
Probably. But here's the thing: we don't have to do more of. Be cool, because we have been freaking cool. Like, if you go look at all those Instagram posts, what? And if you don't think we're funny, somebody didn't pay you enough.
You know? And you might need to just go floss yourself. You know?
Hell yeah. Go floss yourself.
Do you think that might be turning people off? That whole phrase?
No.
Go floss yourself?
No, I'm sorry. If they don't like that, then they can go floss themselves. For real.
Because it's silly. It's all that is.
Oh, yeah.
Know?
Yeah.
We're laughing every time we do it. Like, I try to say idiots, it. You know?
Rhonda says it. Off your flosser. Go floss yourselves.
Oh, my God. Well, I got a couple trips coming up.
What you got?
Going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
In March for a big dental conference.
Oh, nice. With, I need to do more
Dr.
conferences.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm doing some stand-up, man.
Are you?
Yeah. It's going to be like 600 dentists.
Oh, sweet.
You know? And he goes,
are you going to tell him you're a hygienist?
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as you say that, they'll all fold their arms and be like, nasty hygienist.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that because it's, you know, I've been to Phoenix once.
Yeah.
Last April, and it was 1,000,000 degrees. It was in the.
Oh wow, that's pretty hot.
The Uber guy, yeah, like the streets were on fire, like literally.
Wow, like you were in the middle of the sun.
Yeah. Like they just glow red at night, but during the day it's actual flame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, that's pretty hardcore.
And the Uber guy's like, "Oh yeah, but it's a dry heat," and I'm like, "I will stab you." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care.
What?
I'm sorry.
Heat is heat, son. You know what are you talking about?
Right, and when you sweat, it's still like wet.
It ain't
heat.
dry.
Like,
it ain't dry now.
Exactly.
You know. But yeah, I mean, it was in the mid to high 90s. I was like, this is crazy because it was still kind of cool in Atlanta, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, Phoenix is no joke, son. I can't deal with this kind of heat, you know.
It is like the desert, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck. Yuck.
The only place that was hotter that I've ever lived at was Guantanamo Bay in Cuba.
Oh.
My wife and I were stationed out there.
It's close to the equator.
It's like it's straddling the equator with its legs wrapped around it firmly. Yeah, like I went snorkeling with some guys that I knew when I was in North Carolina, and we met back up on the base. And so we're out snorkeling all day, just having. So we had a couple coolers full of like food and refreshments, adult beverages, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're sitting on these rocks out like maybe, I don't know, 150 feet off the shore.
Yeah.
So we had to swim to this rock, climb up on it, and then from there we'd hop out and go snorkel around and then get back on the rock.
Okay.
And, you know what I mean? So it was super cool. And I got a sunburn that my face kind of like bubbled up, and I got nervous because I was like, "This is my moneymaker, dude." So if this goes, you know?
Oh man!
But
you got a nice mug.
Yeah, and I'm Puerto Rican, dude.
Right.
I mean, that's how dangerous the sun is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's pretty close to Cuba, right?
Oh yeah, no. Puerto Rico is real close to Cuba, but what I'm saying is that the Navy base is in Cuba, you
right?
know?
Yeah.
But it's deserty and landmines and
inhabitable
and hospitable. Well, it's miserably hot. They have to make their own water there.
Like make it? Like
Yeah,
they get
they have a
hydrogen and
desalination.
smack it with oxygen?
No, I think they
Boom.
boil seawater and they just use the steam to make
Oh, that. Oh.
desalination. Yeah.
I thought they were all like chemists and stuff.
No, I don't. Can you make water?
Well, I mean, technically.
Matt Damon did it on
yeah.
Mars. So.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
He also made potatoes out of shit.
I caught that the other day again. That movie was awesome.
I have it. I bought it. I was watching it in the theater with John, and I was like, I am buying this when it comes out, and I'm going to watch it several times until I am a botanist.
Buy a movie that you didn't watch?
Oh, yeah. Like Blockbuster back when they were a thing. If it was in the $2.99 bin. Blockbuster. Ever heard of them? Like $2.99 bin. I'll surf through there and see what kind of crap's in there. Yeah. Some of them, like, I like some weird movies. Like, there's a movie called The Squid and the Whale. I like that. There's another one called The Ice Storm. That one's pretty good. But they were, like, $2.99 bin type movies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I bought, I went with my mom and kids to go see The Passion of the Christ, which was, I don't know how great a decision
I have that one
was.
too.
I have it. I never took it out of the plastic.
Oh, really? I watch it every Easter.
It was just too heavy, man.
Oh my gosh. I bawl through like most of it.
I think seeing it once, I think I saw it twice, to be honest with you. I was like, I'm buying this when it comes out. And I was like, I can't even watch it again. It was just.
Yeah. I bawl. Heavy. Literally bawl through most of the movie.
That was a while ago, too. What was that?
Yeah,
it was
probably.
It was super intense. And I can't handle that much heaviness.
Hey, speaking of that. There was I saw somebody posted I don't know if you would call it a meme or not, but so it's Mel Gibson directing, Passion of the Christ. So you've got James Caviezel. He's sitting in full Jesus drab, thorn crown, blood all over him, torn shirt. And then you've got Mel Gibson sitting right next to him in like a button up and khaki pants, clean as can be. And it says at the top, "This is sometimes how I feel, complaining to Jesus about my problems." So, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's hitting home right now. Like me complaining about my IVF, stuff when he went through all that. It's like, not quite a comparison.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of those other things that helps me like kind of get it back together. But it's not, I guess maybe it's not supposed to be funny, but I thought it was funny.
I think sometimes, like watching somebody fall, as long as they don't get hurt.
Do they get hurt? Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yes, I completely expect.
So a little
and
that's what I meant by tragedy. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's fun because it's not supposed to happen. Adults aren't supposed to fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
100%. If I fall down, you guys see me fall down, but I'm okay, I'm going to be laughing too. So, completely
I'm at that age,
okay
though,
to laugh at me.
Where if I fell now, the first reaction would be concern. Like, dude,
right. People get
right?
a little nervous.
You okay?
When you fall.
Because your leg look like, oh, you're good? Yeah. Okay, now we can laugh at you. Yeah. Unless I'm with my idiot comedy buddies, and then they'll laugh. They don't care if you're laying there with a bone sticking out of your
They'll
leg.
laugh while they're calling 911.
But I know that they're jerks like that, so it's okay. Does that make sense?
Right. Like, you have to call the 911 yourself because they're going to be too busy
they'll call,
laughing.
but they'll be laughing the whole time,
Just use GPS. I can't talk right now. Oh, my God.
I think we're good. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. It's about bedtime for me. Yeah.
But anyway, listen, thanks for sharing that story. And
of course. Yeah, if anybody has something that they want to talk about, email, call us 25674-FLOSS. Flosser. It's 25674-FLOSS. Yeah.
FLOSS.
And offyourflosser@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to our 6th episode. This was a little heavy, but,
we're adults.
we might do this every once in a while.
Yeah. They can't
If
all.
we got something to say.
They can't all be just funny all the way through. But yeah, this was good. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah,
Anyway,
me too, Carlos.
have a great night. I will talk to you soon. And
And go floss yourself.
that's right. Go floss yourself, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Night.